Pleased to bring in tonight former IDF spokesperson and the senior fellow at the Foundation of Defense of Democracies, Jonathan Conricus. Sir, thank you for being with us tonight. There's so much to get into.
Thank you for having me, Bianca.
President-elect Donald Trump appeared here on NewsMax with our own Rob Schmidt. Play a little bit of what he said about this potential hostage deal.
We are very close to getting it done, and they have to get it done. If they don't get it done, there's going to be a lot of trouble out there, a lot of trouble like they have never seen before, and they will get it done. And I understand there's been a handshake, and they're getting it finished, and maybe by the end of the week. But it has to take place.
Okay, how much does Donald Trump's comments about all hell breaking loose play into this calculus here with Iran and this deal, in your expert opinion?
Well, in my opinion, it matters a lot. And I think, if we look at the details, this deal is essentially, with perhaps some details a little bit different, but this deal is essentially what has been on the table for months and has been rejected so far by Hamas, already approved by Israel many times, including by the Prime Minister. And Hamas has not yet approved at this time either, but there appears to be a positive momentum. I assess that really the weight of incoming President Trump has been applied on Qatar and perhaps on Egypt, which are the two state supporters of Hamas. And that is perhaps what has injected the whole process with a bit more momentum. And that is why we perhaps can be a little bit more hopeful as to what's happening.
Certainly.
I think that all of the parties are careful not to be in the wrong side of the books of incoming President Trump. And I think Israel understands that this is going to be a long, long war here with Hamas. This will only be a milestone. Returning the hostages will be one stage, but unfortunately, as long as Hamas governs Gaza, then there will be war and despair and fighting and misery. Until Israel defeats Hamas and eradicates it. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So, the deal's been on the table for months, and you say, yes, the calculus is Donald Trump. This is now possibly going to happen now, and possibly before he takes office. So what should be the governing force? What would it look like then? Who should be in control of Gaza? And how do you actually handle that obstacle you just said, which is Hamas maintaining control and still having, that territory?
So unfortunately, I can only say what the bad options are, which I think shouldn't be on the table. Hamas, supported by UNRWA, shouldn't be an option. The Palestinian Authority, which is corrupt, despised by Palestinians, and almost incapable of governing in Judea and Samaria, or what some people call the West Bank, isn't a good option either. What I think will actually happen is for an interim stage of Israeli control over the Gaza Strip, and then to hand over the Gaza Strip to local Palestinian leadership, which hopefully will be able to grow with American help, Arab help, and to build that kind of a fresh and new take on leadership in Gaza, one that doesn't focus on annihilating Israel or waging jihad and holy war against Israel, but instead focuses on the future of Gaza, the future of Gazan children, in having a functioning society, in infrastructure and services and schools and education. When that happens, then I think that will be, a positive and a hopeful thing. But to be realistic, and I live in this area, and my children will serve in the military, so I'm not.
Yes.
This isn't an academic exercise for me. I think that will take a long time before we see that happening.
Step by step, though, let's see what happens with this ceasefire, and obviously watching it closely here, as it does seem like this one may be the one that goes through. Former IDF spokesman, and such a pleasure to have you, Jonathan Conricus. Always good to have you with us, and I appreciate your insight.
Thank you.